Today's topic sits at the intersection of law and medicine. Drug cases are not just about proving possession or use, they are about understanding how the human brain behaves under substances and how the law interprets that behavior. For the bar, this is a high yield area because questions often combine statutory law like RA 9165 with evidence, rules, and procedural safeguards. In actual practice, most drug cases are decided not by moral arguments, but by technical compliance with the law. So your mindset should be this: you are not just memorizing the law, you are learning how to win or lose a case. Drug cases are among the most frequently litigated criminal cases in the Philippines. This means, as a lawyer, whether prosecution or defense, you will encounter them often. RA 9165 is strict. It penalizes possession, use, and trafficking, but it also provides rehabilitation pathways. This creates a tension between punishment and treatment. The key insight: the outcome of a drug case depends heavily on evidence, especially scientific evidence. That's why lawyers must understand not only the law, but also how drug testing works, how addiction affects behavior, and how evidence is handled. Dependence versus addiction. Let's clarify a foundational distinction: dependence versus addiction. These are often used interchangeably, but legally and medically they are different. Dependence is physical. The body adapts to the drug, and if the drug is removed, withdrawal occurs, like tremors, sweating, or anxiety. Addiction, on the other hand, is behavioral. It involves compulsive use despite harm. The person continues using the drug even when they know it is destroying their health, relationships, or legal standing. Every addict is dependent, but not every dependent person is addicted. This distinction matters because dependence supports rehabilitation. Addiction may still lead to criminal liability. Addiction is not just a bad habit, it is a brain disorder. Drugs increase dopamine, the brain's reward chemical. This makes the experience feel pleasurable and reinforces repetition. Over time, the brain's reward system becomes overactive. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for decision making, becomes weaker. This explains why addicts make irrational decisions, continue harmful behavior, and lose self control. This does not excuse crime, but it may affect intent or the mens rea and sentencing. You must memorize the core provisions of RA 9165, which are as follows. Section 5 refers to sale, which is the most serious offense. Section 11 on possession, 15 on use, 36 on drug testing, and 54 on rehabilitation. Questions are often asked in the bar. Can a person be charged under Section 15? What evidence is required? And when does rehabilitation apply? Think of these provisions as a flow of liability, starting from possession, which leads to testing, which leads to use, which leads to rehab or prosecution. This is one of the most tested doctrines in the bar. There are two types of drug tests: the screening test, which is initial and presumptive, and the confirmatory test, which is definitive and scientific. The legal rule is this: a screening test alone is not enough. Without a confirmatory test, there is no valid proof of drug use. The accused must be acquitted. If the question in the bar says positive test, but does not mention confirmatory test, the answer is acquittal. In drug cases, the drug itself is the corpus delicti, the very body of the crime. The prosecution must prove that the drug presented in court is the exact same drug seized. This is done through the chain of custody, which starts with seizure, marking, storage, transfer, laboratory testing, and court presentation. If any link is broken, reasonable doubt arises, and the accused must be acquitted. Reality check. Most acquittals in drug cases happen because of broken chain of custody. RA 9165 is not purely punitive. It allows rehabilitation. And there are two types. The voluntary under Section 54, which is before conviction, and the compulsory under Section 61, which is court ordered. For first-time offenders under Section 66, sentence is suspended, and clemency is available in Section 71 after conviction. The key idea is this: the law recognizes addiction as a medical condition, but take note, rehabilitation applies mainly to users, not traffickers. The defense focuses on lack of confirmatory test, broken chain of custody, lack of intent, and proof of dependence, which is the rehab angle. While the prosecution must prove possession or use, maintain chain of custody, present valid lab results, and counter defense claims. Both sides rely heavily on expert witnesses like doctors and toxicologists. These are key selected jurisprudence. Strict of chain of custody in People versus Akdang, cited in February 4, 2025, the Supreme Court acquitted an accused of cultivating marijuana, emphasizing that police must strictly follow the chain of custody rule, even in remote locations. The court noted that failure to prove identity and integrity of seized drugs, or a failure to make a genuine effort to invite required witnesses, leads to an acquittal. In People versus Suliano, irregularities were observed in the marking and handling of seized drugs, raising doubts about how the evidence was processed from seizure to presentation in court. The Supreme Court acquitted the accused, stressing that while not every lapse is fatal, unjustified irregularities that affect the identity and integrity of the evidence undermine the prosecution's case. Improper marking or handling becomes fatal when it results in uncertainty as to whether the evidence presented is the same one, the same substance seized. In People versus Lopez, the accused was charged with illegal drug use, which required proof that the accused had actually ingested dangerous drugs. The prosecution relied on the results of a drug test conducted after arrest. The Supreme Court acquitted the accused, holding that a screening test alone is insufficient to establish drug use. The prosecution failed to present a confirmatory test, which is necessary to conclusively prove the presence of drugs in the body. The ruling establishes that illegal drug use must be proven through a confirmatory test following a screening test. Otherwise, reasonable doubt persists. In a landmark ruling, Salomon versus Muntinlupa, the Supreme Court ruled that government employees who test positive for drug use should first be given the opportunity to undergo a rehabilitation program rather than being immediately dismissed. The court emphasized that drug addiction is a sickness requiring treatment, and rehabilitation is consistent with the state's mandate under RA 9165 to reintegrate drug users into society. Now, for the bar takeaways. If you only remember these 5 rules: number 1, no confirmatory tests results in acquittal. If there is broken chain of custody, it results in an acquittal. The random test does not equate to criminal liability. Addiction is not a full defense, and rehabilitation is available for users. So these are your instant answer triggers in the bar. Closing. Drug law is not just about punishment. It is about understanding human behavior, science, and justice. The best lawyers know the law, understand the evidence, and appreciate the science. Justice must consider both the act and the mind behind it. In RA 9165 cases, technical compliance beats moral judgments. Always look for missing confirmatory tests, broken chain of custody, and improper procedure. That is how cases are won by the defense. End of presentation.